Someone is watching out for us. We feel like today's episode title, Moments from Disaster, doesn't begin to do justice to what happened.
So, how do accidents happen? Arrogance, complacency, failure to follow your own rules and guidelines.
You put the pin in, right? You put the pin in, right?
Yep. You know what? I don't know. I'm going to stop and see.
Being up against a busy road for 8 days didn't give either of us much sleep.
Now that's kind of looks like our solitude, except it's got a mid-kitchen. And they're pulling it with a 350 single tire instead of a dually. That is a beautiful Airstream. Come on, baby. And it's being pulled by a 450.
The folks here have been nice for the most part, but the drivers are somewhat of a pain. I was anxious to get to a quieter place. I think Chris was too. We just need to stick to our own rules. Not doing so could be disastrous.
So, how do accidents happen? Arrogance, complacency, failure to follow your own rules? Or could it be as simple as you have a perceived rush? You need to hurry. You need to do things that you normally wouldn't do. Maybe not even following your own checklist? Yeah, we got to talk about this again.
Don't let anything or anyone put you in a mindset that has you feeling rushed.
We have a 20,000 pound or so rig and a 10,000 pound truck. We're just about 60 feet overall in length. And at some parks, that's an awful lot to try and get in and out of. Now, add to that that getting in was a pain in the butt, but getting out, now you've got to ask a neighbor to move their vehicles, which is an inconvenience for them, but they're polite, they're kind, and they do it. And then as you back in to hook up, you get people that are really irritated at you for blocking the street, even though they've got a dozen different ways to get out. So more and more things start adding up to give you that perceived idea, notion that you've got to be in a rush to get moving. So this is where it gets dicey. This is where you start making mistakes. This is where I started making a mistake. You do everything that you think you're supposed to do right, except you forget to use your checklist. You forget to follow the rules that you've set for yourself to make sure everything is going to be safe. And you leave out one or two key things. By the grace of God and kindness, you do everything else that you're supposed to. We hooked up. I did my pull test, but I forgot to do something. I knew I was missing something, but I wasn't using that wonderful checklist that had been made. So I get the rest of the rig connected, I get all the jacks up, people are still in cars, not considerate at all, trying to hurry us. Moving that big thing through a small park can be a pain. But we start pulling out. Pull test was great, no problems. Make a bunch of 90-degree turns to get out of the park, nice and slow. Yep. Thank you so very much, ma'am.
There's Carrie's pink flamingo.
Yeah. get out onto the main road, start to approach the freeway and pick up speed. So I'm getting up the ramp, about a mile down the freeway. My wife says this.
You put the pin in, right? You put the pin in, right?
Yep. You know what? I don't know. I'm going to stop and see. Then comes that sick feeling when you realize you've forgotten a critical step.
No, don't get off the freeway.
I'm not going to get off. I'm just going to pull to the median or to the side.
It was in.
It was not.
Huh?
It was not. Depends on this side. Yeah. Thank you, Lord. We did a pull test, something that should have caught my error. Then we drove for about a half mile in the park, around tight turns and over bumps and dips, then on the freeway for 60 miles an hour with that wind blowing against the camper, before pulling over just to be sure. How do I explain this? We have dear friends that have done the same thing, and their rig fell on their truck bed almost instantly. Wow. To all of our patrons, thank you. And to all our subscribers and viewers, we hope you find our channel informative and entertaining. Please, travel safe.